Hello and welcome back to day 2 of the WVC. Yesterday gave us one of the most unforgettable matches of the tournament so far. Semi-final 1 had everything. Dominance, comebacks and pure drama. KDG took the first map in convincing fashion. Crash Out clawed their way back with an edge of your seat overtime win on map 2 and then exploded in map 3 to take the series 2-1 and claim their spot in the grand finals. The bar has been set high. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vega, and I'll be your host for this semi-final showdown today. Huntrix and Storms take the stage, and the stakes are crystal clear. Win here, and you join Crash Out in the grand finals. Lose, and your tournament run ends right here. We're kicking off on Icebox, one of Valorant's most challenging and unpredictable maps. Statistically, the Icebox tends to lead slightly towards defenders, with defensive win rates sitting around 53 to 55% in competitive play. That means holding side here is a bit easier than breaking in. But when attackers grab early map control and convert plants, the momentum shifts fast. Huntrix will be starting on attack, so they'll have to outcome that defender advantage right out of the gate. The recipe for success on Icebox? One smoker to shut down those long, punishing sidelines, 2 initiators to gather information and force defenders out of power position, a duelist to crash through the site the moment the utility lands, and a sentinel to lock it all down post-plant. On Icebox, attacking teams thrive when they can pressure both sides at once, forcing defenders to split their utility and rotations. Defenders, although, win by holding strong angles, delaying pushes, and making every plant attempt costly. Now, we've seen it before. Storms have the coordination and patience to turn Icebox into an unbreakable wall. Huntrix have the speed and creativity to melt that defense. With a grand final sticker on the line, this isn't just a game. It's a battle to prove who can master one of Valorant's trickiest maps under the highest pressure. So strap in, folks. The ice is set. The stats are against the attackers, but Huntrix will look to flip the script as we dive into Icebox. Alright, it seems like it's going to be an early but very slow push into A side. Taking the little walk around towards belt. Killjoy holding side all the way at A alongside Phoenix, who's positioned at screen and just below rafters. 3 on A side. Teams moving very slowly up to A. Cosmo taking a very strong approach forward, but was very quickly stopped by the KJ nades. Very well held by the side, by the defenders at the moment. KJ is holding them back, pushing them towards pipes, not letting them enter side in any sort of way. The hesitation, the chip damage dealt by KJ has now pushed the defenders all the way back. Kai holding mid, trying to get a peek through mid blue, but really nobody peeks enough for her to get any sort of damage coming forward. Again, pushing A side, again taking the slow hesitation, the slow hesitant walk, being very cautious, not letting attackers give any more chip damage than they already have. It's the pistol round. Any damage means a lot. Trying to plant default, but not really getting the opportunity. Smoking screens, trying to get KJ at the back, just below rafter. KJ getting that peak clove, getting the kill, and now we are dealing with a 5v4 situation. Defenders stuck, attackers are planted, and now it's a matter of the waiting game. It's how they are going to be willing to take the side. Taking dominance, Hello Kitty taking dominance, and now moving forward into side, just below rafters. All of them. Plantward, Suki's taken out. We just 3v2v4. What a beautiful retake we're seeing here from the attack, from the defenders. Storm, very coordinated with the way they are playing at the moment. Cheesecakes. Phoenix just very nearly escapes there. Cheesecakes taking the corner around pipes, but really nothing to be done. With little time left on Nest, can they make the defuse? Can they take the dance? Yes, they do take the defuse, but is it enough? Not enough. With just 0.9 seconds remaining, the defenders have not been successful in the first round, giving the advantage towards the attackers. Like I said, Huntrix are looking to flip the map on its sides when it comes to this Icebox. It really is boiling down to the way they push. Of course, they backed up. The KJ did a fantastic job at holding side, but at the end of the day, the way they pushed in, not really giving any, not really hesitating in the fact that they needed to go into it, gave them that advantage of being able to take over this first round. Now they're creeping up garage, trying to see if they can go into Cubby. Reyna providing that space, giving them that ability to move forward without any problems. Gecko's blinds is soon going to go out, having them confirm if there's any, checking their corners, which is a great thing to be doing at the moment. Cypher very aware of what's happening now. Trips giving the info that needs to be given. Look at the rotation now. Everyone quickly rotating to B side. Everybody knows how big this map is, and the rotation is extremely key. Hello Kitty giving the smokes.
Spike planted.
Cypher holding just behind side, seeing if there's any sort of way. Plant has already been spiked at this point. It's again the moment how they're going to retake. Take a look at the attack. The attack is very coordinated. Everyone is in their positions. Nobody's giving any opportunity for any sort of peek. Not Moon trying to get any delay as possible. Peeks, gets one. Takes back, doesn't give herself away. Kai gets blinded by Gecko's utils. What a beautiful take by Not Moon. Unfortunate for her, gets taken out through a random bullet spray through smoke. Taking as much time as possible, trying to delay the team. With just like that, it's a 4v1. Attackers had a significant advantage. Forget about the gunplay advantage, folks. Look at the way they're attacking. The coordination, they're not staggered, they're not scattered. They're going in together, they're doing what they need to be doing. Create space, take the defender's area, plant the spike, and then move out, which is precisely what I was explaining to you at the beginning. Typically, as an attacking side in Icebox, you have a very big disadvantage. To overcome that disadvantage, you need to move forward as a unit. You need to be sharp, calculated, and very well positioned in the map in order to make those plays, which is what HUNTR seems to be doing right at the moment. Storms will look to do a little intake on how they're defending. Now Sova is the Sova KJ again holding side all the way back at screens. Utils, KJ pushes up to pipes. Will she be able to catch HUNTR off guard? Gecko up on pipes, trying to see if there's any sort of info she can get, but nothing really coming off of it. Now look at the rotate. They're pushing all the way from A side. Got the fake, going all the way to garage. I think Clove and Cypher are very well aware of the fact that this could be a rotate. And just like that, Cypher puts her utils down, trying to get any damage going through smokes. The smokes are also down. Suki gets caught to trips but still survives. Held back at yellow. Plant hasn't been spiked yet. Now everybody in the same side. What is the attacker's play? Getting one kill will lead to the advantage of the round, which is what each team would be typically looking to get. Kai peeking wide from yellow, but does not have the accuracy enough to finish it off. A good peek, a not intended finish. Now the team hesitates, pushing back. They know they have to push back. The team taking in as much as they can, taking the space, pushing up belt soon and fast, not holding back.
10 seconds left.
Defenders are nonetheless aware, getting the plant spike with 7 seconds left. Strawberries, 4 seconds. Planting default, but messes up the default, presses up the plant, giving the opportunity for the defenders to be able to take the third round. A little bit of a whoopsie there from the Gecko, but it should not let them dictate the round. They were very good with the callouts on rotating the map at the right time. A little tight on the time, which caused HUNTR to fall a little behind, giving the defenders an opportunity to take that round. Very quick timeout here, which is very weird. Let's have a look at the stats real quick over here. Very dominant Reyna, 2-3. You saw how very fast she was, how audacious she was enough to create space. Doesn't matter if you're negative, it only matters as to how much you provide for the team. Kills is not the only way to provide for them. She gave the space, gave them the opportunity for Fade to get info, and then Sentinel to lock down the site. Having a beautiful comp here, positioning, and well-coordinated HUNTR going against the Storm with his tactical plays, but really the retaking has not been as aggressive as you'd hope them to be. They were stuck in screens. They ideally would have to push up rafters, go through pipes, stagger, and startle the enemy. That's what they should try to do as a team, which is not being implemented and executed by the defenders. Storm has a lot to talk about in this time, which ideally I think they are going to and have to bring into their way of playing. And now we're moving into the timeout's done. They've talked. They've been able to get info as to what they need to change. Now, what exactly is the play going to be? The attack is going straight to A, pushing up belt very cautiously. They have been doing that, and it has been working for them, wasting the utils of the defenders. That is what the game in. That's what the game in the attackers have been. Take the utils as much as they can, and then push. Are they going to fall for that now that the timeout has been done? As they have a timeout, Mika tried to take in any info. I don't think she was able to witness anybody there, but the awareness of the enemy being there is still there. That's why there's not been any rotation in the map. The defenders have held their position, anchoring down. Now the push into A side. They already pushed up A side in pipes. Notices the grenade. KJ a little too late to push the grenade out, but provides. Look at the space being taken by Reyna here. Although Gecko, the other two on the other side, which play are they going to go for here? Are they going to rotate all the way to B? It's a confusing way to play, but the coordination seems to be a little different from the way we've seen from the beginning. Reyna seems to be playing a very, very crucial role here at making space. The patience in order to take that aim to the head. Cheesecake wins that because of that. On the other side, Reyna gets a kill, gets traded off by Mika. It's a 4v3 in the advantage of the attackers. Now all of them. Suki coming in from the left through mid. Takes care of both in mid. All the way in kitchen. Mika waiting for the ability to take Suki down, and then potentially go up through halls, go down to side, and try to take a defuse. What is a strat at this moment in time? We see Suki. Beautiful shot to the head. But little does she know, up is Snowman. With 17 HP, there's only very little Mika can do. Can she provide a miracle? Look at the util usage here. The timing. Wasting as much time as possible. This is why KJ is such a unique character. They cross paths. Realize they don't want to take chances moving away from each other. Probably would meet up in hut. And attackers win the 4th round. Defenders, very peculiar strategy here, going to A, pushing up A, but it worked because Reyna was able to trade and delay the opponents from going over to B side, which gave the team to whole side, get the others, and basically win the round. A peculiar strategy, nonetheless, gets it working down for them. Mika trying to hold her fort, getting the team to push up with them. Stat-wise, they don't look that much of a difference, but it's the strategy as to how things are being executed that is causing this 3-round win. HUNTR being very well calculated in the way they are playing at the moment. Holding, cautiousness, util usage, everything to the T is being done perfectly by HUNTR at the moment. Reyna pushing up again. Very, very blinds all over the place, trying to confirm this. About giving away the information to KJ. Util usage. Again, KJ is out of utils at the very start of the round. This up in mid. Cypher's taken out through all the way at orange. Cypher was taken out by Fade. Now they're at a disadvantage. Do they know Clove is going to be lurking them, taking them from the behind? Is there something to hold it back? Seems like she's positioned at mid at the moment, holding fort. No, she's pushing up. Side is in control of the attackers with a significant number advantage for the round. It's all up to how they're going to retake. Pushing up rafters. Hello Kitty seeing if there's anyone she can get anything off. Oh, what a jump down into side. Takes care of Clove, but Clove uses her ult to bring herself back. She's going to redeem herself, going to screens. Making up space, but with a ghost, there's really nothing much you can do as a Phoenix. The attackers are stampeding against all odds. Icebox, a typically defensive map, is completely on the flip side in terms of the way HUNTR is playing at the moment. They're playing a fantastic game in attacking, pushing up pipes, taking nests, taking control of side very, very quickly, decisively. and also at the same time being very cautious, destroying the util usage of KJs before they can even decide, and completely flabbergasting the opponent when it comes to the way they are playing at this very instant. Now a very slow push up A, trying to take any sort of space in green, seeing if there's any enemy hiding in the corners, because again, corners become a very, very big part of the... Oh, sorry, I thought for a moment that the Gecko was on the other side. Picking up Snowman, takes Cypher's camp, knows where the Cypher's utils are, which is a great... Which is very well aware of Brena here, using the blinds to take Cypher's strips out. White peeks upside, but really does nothing. The quick rotation. Is it going to cause a cut? 1 second and everything could have gone wrong for Sheen. Oh, up in tubes. Taking the white peak again. Doesn't see anyone. Flick to the head. And deals with Kai just like that. Now, it's a 4v4. Gave space, took time, created the opportunity, planted spike.
Spike down.
Mid's taken care of now. Hello Kitty is taking the lead, pushing forward with Phoenix. Hunted into side, but
30
Gecko,
seconds left.
questionable where Gecko was going there for a moment, but Shen, taking the peak, realizes it's not worth it. But the defenders nonetheless have finally held down this stampeding force of a team, HUNTR, and the score is 2-4 at the moment. Again, not a very big lead. Doesn't really decide the game at this instant. I think we're going into a tech pause. Ideally, such 2-4 might not seem like a very commanding lead, but it does really set the tone of the game at the moment. The attackers are completely blindsiding the way the defenders did a good job at holding side last round, but have a look at the way they're playing. Cautiously pushing up, wasting the util usage, taking out Cypher's util usage, not letting the Sentinels rest even a little bit. The Reyna is doing a great job at creating space. Fade is giving info, and then the Sentinels locking down side, which I believe is doing the magic for the attackers at this point in time. I think also partially we're seeing a little bit of a in terms of the tech pause, we're seeing an issue on Gecko's perspective, because we saw her going, I think when attacking, a little bit of disconnecting could be witnessed, because look at that, have a look at that, her ping is reaching 211, which also makes sense because we saw her walking and unfortunately not being able to plant in that one round and causing the loss for the attackers. HUNTR very much in the command at the moment, very much holding that ability to attack in a defender-sided map like Icebox, really deals the tone as to where this game is going to go. But can Storm come out with we've seen Storm and how they've played before. We've seen them take out LLS in a very, very calm and calculated fashion. We would ideally want to be able to see such a play coming in from from Storm. Yet again, they seem to be taking their positioning is the issue at the moment. If you take a look at the way they've been defending, they rotate into side at the right times, but it's just they're all over the place. They don't know where to really go. If Clove pushes up below rafters, Cage is there too, and then Gecko pushes in from screens, Phoenix pushes in screen, and then they back up. It's just not working for them in the way they're going to retake side. They have to really, really cater into how they are going to be positioned when they're going to retake side. One has to be able to trade each other. They have to single out an opponent, push the opponents out of sight in order for them to defuse. In Icebox, that is how you usually would ideally retake side, which is not happening for the defenders at the moment. They are allowing the side to be taken, but the retake isn't all that great. I think the KJ was the one with the issue, but nonetheless, HUNTR with a statement to make that attacking isn't as hard as it is made out to be. Defenders though have to stop this momentum that the attackers are going alongside with, and their strategy of wasting utils, and prove them that this is a semi-final. Any mistake matters. Nika giving them the info that A side is being highly targeted. What is the play going to be from HUNTR? Now that they are aware, everyone pushing up, KJ pushing up belt. They're doing everything they can to slow. KJ is doing everything she can to slow down the attackers. But again, the heavy util dumping is probably the cause for the fact that they can't hold A side as much as they were doing B. Now the extreme shift in going to B side. Phoenix is already up yellow, trying to take a wide peek, getting any info, trying to get a kill as possible. They're coming through garage, which means they're going to go across lines. And again, going from B to A, confusing the opponents, confusing the commentator. But look at KJ holding belt, seeing if their peak is going to come through rafters. Reyna very cautiously pushing up, anticipating KJ to be in pipes. So was screen, and then everything comes all out at once. Fade, utils, Gecko utils, Reyna utils, all blinding, taking care of the opponents, pushing the defenders all the way back into screens. Now little to no well. Look at the positioning. The defenders are now hesitant. How do we enter? How are we going to retake? This is what they have to look at. Pushing up rafters. KJ holding, giving the blind, not letting them enter side, but coming through pipes. With the lockdown, it's a 2v4. Now we can see the positioning playing well. It looked like the attackers were all over the place today, but the peek through nest doesn't really provide much. Even the ult doesn't do much. Just leading to the utter fall off of HUNTR's attack. The play was amazing up until they planted. Reyna seemed out of place. Fade seemed out of place. KJ was very easily able to sneak out of rafters, come into side, go behind pipes, and be able to take out Fade and Reyna. The moment those two were taken out, it was just a hand-given round to Storm. Right now, Storm in the driving seat with a moment shift. We can see them having some sort of coordination after the tech pause, after the timeout. 3-4 the score currently. It's a very, very tight game. We're seeing a peculiar play yet again. Reyna sticking with the Gecko. White peak coming in from Phoenix. Reyna's gone. Just like that, the Phoenix doing a fantastic job at peeking in yellow. Now, what is the play? Gecko runs right back into garage, going to take mid. KJ holding flank. I think the ideal play here is to go through mid, but Hello Kitty is holding through kitchen, seeing if there's any sort of movement to come about. The peak in mid boiler to take KJ's bot out does little to nothing to Suki, but a few chip damage. They're going A side. Plant is happening in A side. Already KJ breaks the body, but really waiting for the peak. Rafter up in rafters. The timing of that. Unfortunate for KJ. Fed not being able to handle her teammate, not being able to trade her teammate their shin. KJ gets out but takes the trade.
30 seconds
now it's
left.
a 3v4 situation. Attackers at a disadvantage, but what are they going to do? What can they play? Planting close to default. Holding rafters. Positioning is a bit out of place here for the attackers, but the Killjoy's lockdown could give them that need to move. The ability to make space and move forward. This is what the defenders ideally are looking for. Now have a look at that. The ult from Fade. What is that going to do? In comes the utils from Killjoy. So many util dumpage from every single angle. Everybody trying as much as they can to take domination of the spike. Plant is being defused. Can they defuse it? Being brought into the nade with one person left. Half spike. It's a moment of truth, and defenders are able to spike it out. Defuse it. Hello Kitty with the final kill and taking that win. It's 4-4. What an amazing round. The usage of abilities, the usage of the utils were extremely the way they need to be used, if I were to dare say. And as much as that was a very good round for the defenders, the attackers are now thinking, what's going on? How are we losing? What's exactly happening? The attackers are positioned. Their positioning is now off. They're trying to look into side. They're pushing cautiously again. Going up A side. Hello Kitty holding up kitchen.
Drop in a smoke.
Reyna trying to see if there was a peek at B. Now have a look at this. pushing up mid top. Seeing if there's... Trying to take mid. Takes Killjoy's bot out. Alerts the team of a potential mid push. While KJ takes the route from belt all the way to side. Team seems to lock onto A side at the moment. After a 4-round lead, the attackers have staggered a bit, and the team pushes in
Spike
right
down
into the
A.
KJ's nade for the second time, which I think should be a problem to be held on to. What a beautiful shot! Takes care of the other KJ, and right now, as we are looking into this, under rafters, holding side, the Sentinel doing her job. Mika coming in from screens, seeing if there's a way to like Reyna really not able to push or make any space at the point. KJ doing God's work as a Sentinel, giving them the space and then the ult to push them back yet again. The attackers are in a can full of trouble, and that's little they can do. The defenders retake the side and make a statement by taking the lead. Storm here with 5-4. The attackers certainly need a timeout here because clearly the strat has been figured out and little can be done. Which do they change? What are they going to opt to go for? It's something of a concern at the moment. Because clearly the attackers are not having much of a shift in the way they're doing. They're not adapting to the way the defenders are retaking the site now in comparison to the last 4 rounds that they have won, which clearly gave them the advantage to push forward. A few mistakes here and there, the Gecko constantly putting the spike at the same spot, which gives KJ the ability to predict where the spike is going to be and give her the option to either be on rafters or below rafters in order to take out a few of the agents on the attacker side. They clearly need to change the strat because they're being too predictable for the defender side, which is giving them this slight advantage for the defenders to go forward and make a difference. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of the attacker timeout with 5-4. Have a look at this. Isn't this interesting? The game just keeps shifting from attacker side to defender side, and the moment you realize who is in charge, it changes yet again. Taking out space very quickly. Phoenix at yellow, sending down the wall, not giving them the opportunity to get a peek in. Reyna gives that noise, makes so much noise, only for the team to be slowly taking space up the side, up through belt, going to A side, again. Very aware of the UTIs, but little can be done. Now the change in the... This time, instead of pushing up straight and planting the spike, the Geckos changed her tactics, and now look at the plant has been spiked. It's a 5v. What a shot! Killjoy at the moment seems to be on fire. So on the other hand, they're holding their side perfectly. 4v5. KJ Clove needs to make a push in now because her ult is about to finish. Nothing can be done. Very close.
Right here.
It's a 3v4. The retake is on fire. They know what they're doing. They're pushing in very methodically, coordinated, but doesn't really look.
One enemy remaining.
KJ to defend. Very little time left. Time it right, and you get it right. Cheesecake taking big. Oh dear me! What a beautiful take by Cheesecake. The util use, the hold. Cheeky pick by Phoenix really doesn't bring much to the rejoice of the defenders, but the attacker certainly will take that to move forward. One more round. Like I said, the moment the title shift, it always comes around. This game certainly can't get more exciting than this. 5-5, ladies and gentlemen. You can't separate the two sides. One is methodical, the other isn't, and then just like that, vice versa, and moving forward. Can we have a look at the stats? Alright, moving up A now very slowly. Now we're going back to the way they've been playing. They've been playing like this for the last few times. times, but again, the Sova giving the info. Pushing up as soon as possible, but doesn't really gets delayed because of the util usage. Will this util usage become a big problem? The KJ lockdown taking care of side for the attackers, giving them that space enough to push. Util go low at the moment.
Planted.
Good shock dart there, but really, unfortunately for her, doesn't take anything. Shen takes one, moves behind out of nest, pushes back. KJ from rafters, seeing if the possibility to take any chip damage. Look at how the attackers are now positioning themselves. They're waiting for any sort of ping from screen. Phoenix trying to take damage. Pushing upside. Takes a flash, but the wall itself blocks it. Unfortunately, it's still a very balanced round, but not anymore. The attackers take two. Mika trying her best to win the round for the defenders. The defenders are all around. The attackers are all around them. Pushing up screens. What a beautiful tap to the head, only to be decimated by Fade. Giving attackers
Last
yet
round
another
in the
advantage
half.
in this first half. That was amazing to see. That was amazing to watch. Unfortunate for Mika. A really valiant effort in order to get that round. Get that lead yet again. Mind you, it's still 5-6. It's still very, very balanced at the moment. But certainly, Storms would like to go into the attacking sector with having a defensive first win half. Slowly pushing up mid at the moment. Trying to take Boiler, nobody can be seen. The spokes doing really well. Kitchen's also blocked off. Pushing up orange. Now. Reyna. Hello Kitty. Patiently waiting for the smokes to go off. Sees Kitchen. Shen's taken out. Waiting in Kitchen very patiently. Proves to be very, very efficient.
Spike down.
Now Cheesecake knows and is aware of Hello Kitty's existence. The whiff! But still manages to get it thanks to Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty being the MVP of the round. This goes to show,
Switching
hold
sides.
your anchor, stay on your fort, don't rotate unnecessarily. Will always reap rewards. Hello Kitty with the patience of a saint, holding in fort and taking care of the bulk of the attacking team, causing them to win the 12th round. Have a look at this. It's 6-6. You simply cannot distinguish the two teams. We're going into the second half with a very even score. How good is Storm at attacking in Icebox? How good is Huntrix at defending? That's basically what it's going to come down to. KJ and Fade holding down A side. They're taking a very similar approach to what Huntrix had been doing all this time. The cautiousness, the taking it slow. There's really no rush in a map like this. Trying to take Bell, trying to push up to pipes. Initiator throws. Fed tries to get info. Unfortunately, nobody has pushed up it. I think they were waiting for that one moment. Waste the utils of the defenders. That is the name of the game at this very instant. Look at how cautious each player is being at the moment. Now the drone pushes in, sees if there's anyone around. No one. Now pushing up pipes. Phoenix trying to get the blind, but that's a big chunk of damage taken by KJ. Fed holding down rafters behind side. The attackers are having a bit of trouble. 1, 2. Shen takes Phoenix. It's a 4v4. People are all over the place. Mika getting a headshot in, but doesn't get the kill.
Spike down A.
Spike hasn't been planted yet. The attackers are in a very big disadvantage. What is their plan with 20 seconds remaining? They have to push in. They have to plant the spike. Spike is inside. Taking the peek. What a beautiful shot. Mika really doing a lot for the attackers at the moment. Storms. 4 seconds remaining. The plan is to be going into play with 2 milliseconds. Plant has been spiked. Strawberry is trying to push up from beholding rafters. What seemed to be inevitable for the attackers has become very possible.
One enemy remaining.
With one remaining now. Have a look at this. It's Mika versus Strawberries. The smoke in, halved it. Mika slowly pushing up, trying to jump down, and Mika. My word, is having a hell of a game today. From being an amazing defender to doing fabulous attacking, really decimating the opponents. From a 3-2 advantage for the defenders to getting the round for the defender from a 3-2 advantage the defenders to getting the round for the attackers. Mika is providing the edge for Storms to take Huntrix out. What is their plan now? Are they going to go with the same strategy? Go through A, slowly pushing up. Phoenix created space, gave them that momentum to push forward. That is what you'd love to see from a duelist. Every duelist has to provide that space, which clearly Reyna, Phoenix both ideally did. Now, the drone into side. Fair trying to provide anything. Mika pushing into side. Phoenix and Cheesecake having a hold. Cheesecake having a hold of side, but not really providing it. Now look at this. Hello Kitty moving up. Phoenix moving up. Pipe is now under the attacker's control. They're pushed just very little. They're inching towards the side. Recon that to give info. Everyone being held back at side. The positioning is very off for the defenders. They're pushing up here. Cheesecake seems to have somehow peaked, but look at them run now, running away from side, which I think the defenders are very aware. Huntrix running back to B side, the attackers also running to B side. It's a game of tag at this moment. Quickly getting to B side, positioning himself. 2 in Snowman, 2 in Fence, 1 going to Hell. Sorry, 1 going through halls, and now both teams convene in B side, planting the spike very, very easily.
Spike planted.
Cypher pushes back to yellow. It's a 4v3. Attackers at a big advantage. 3v2. They need to take it slow. They need to be careful. The Lurk not making any progress. The Spectre decimates Cheesecake. The peak, wide peak by Not Moon, not providing much of a difference. Phoenix there to seal the deal, seal the round for Storm. Storm now making a very bold statement here. I stand corrected. Attacking seems to be the play in a map like this. Statistics of competitive play makes no sense at this point because of the way these two teams are playing. They're attacking ferociously. The defense is all over the place because of the way the game is being played. Holding back, util usage completely sucking and siphoning all the utils from the defenders and then attacking, which seems to be working for both teams, but working more efficiently because Huntrix doesn't seem to be able to adapt to the way Storm did. Trying to make up space, up to nest. Sending a drone into side again. Making them very aware of their existence. Taking a note of who's up there. Now, what is the plan for Storm? Where are they going to go? What exactly do they seem? Killjoy trying to get a peek. In Rafters gets a head dig, unfortunately for her. Doesn't really get the kill down. Cheesecake holding side. Gets a shot to the head but still survives. What a shot by Not Moon there to take Rafters. Look at that. Pushed up to side, holding Phoenix, trying to take a slow lurk into A side. The defenders have anchored their positions. They're gone back to the way they were. The attackers
30 seconds left.
doesn't know that Phoenix is still up in nest. Giving the caller to ideally push up to A side. All of the defenders now pushing all the way B. Now they're aware of what's going to happen. Cheesecake up in pipes. Does Phoenix know? Phoenix knows. Attackers have successfully taken side. The defenders coming in through screen.
10 seconds.
Huntrix with 10 seconds remaining. Can they stop the plant? No, they'll kill out. Util everywhere. It's a util collage with 1v4. The defenders have successfully taken out the attackers. HUNTR finally making a comeback in the way they're defending, adapting to the way they attack. The confusion did not actually confuse the defenders, and HUNTR come back with 8-7. Every time the momentum seems to be going the other way, the other team has something to say. That is the game right now. That is the way. That is what I can summarize the game that's to you, that is being played at the very moment. 8-7 going to Storm. Storm very much in the lead at the moment. Momentum also going their way. HUNTR has a lot to prove in the way they have to adapt to play according to the way Storms is playing. Little to no avail. They have to stop getting siphoned out of their utils and push forward and hold side like they did last round. Recon Dot pushed all the way into side, seeing if there's anybody trying to get info. Doesn't provide useful. Pushes the defenders a little behind though. The attackers taking their time, being very cautious. Shen trying to get info on the second, doubting herself whether she wants to use. There you go. The drone's taken out now. What is the plan? They seem to be using the same strategy over and over again. Make themselves known, take their time, confuse the enemy and push forward. That's what Storm seems to be playing at the moment, but Cheesecake placing the nade there to delay the attackers as much as they can. With 52 seconds remaining, they don't seem to have a side decided yet. They want to go. They're going B. Faking a B, but nobody in B side. Look at the defenders, very aware. Gecko running all the way to B side, knowing the way the team plays, holding for the spike to come up in nest.
30 seconds left.
The drone not doing much. There comes the molly. Good tactical awareness there from Gecko. The lockdown though, giving them the space, creating the space. Unfortunately for Suki, he gets taken out by bullets from Kai. It's a 4v5 situation. Defenders all stuck up in mid. Nobody to lurk. What is HUNTR going to do? What is their game of play at the moment? How will they retake a site that has been heavily guarded by 5 individuals? The spray through smoke doesn't provide anything to look at. Not more taking space. Takes one. Does it take two? The defuse has been done. It's been half. It's a 2v3.
Last player.
Little doesn't know. The lurk was about to be successful, only to be taken away from, not known by Phoenix. And unfortunately, as it is, Storm cruise through this retaking of HUNTR. HUNTR seems to be all over the place, and they, of course, the attackers need to calm themselves down because they seem to be a little out of focus when it comes to taking. Their nerves are all over the place. I'm sorry. HUNTR seems to be pushing in, adapting slowly but surely to Storm's way of playing, and this is causing Storm to be a little bit erratic in the way they're playing and moving, causing this very dramatic end to the round. Of course, Storm very much in front at the moment. The momentum towards Storm, holding side and doing a fabulous job at it as well. But the attackers, they need to reassess the way they attack. They need to hold themselves down and push forward. I'm sorry, the defenders need to be reassess the way they defend. I am very sorry, I completely mixed the two up. But ideally, Storm very much in the front, 9-7. Timeout is over. What is the attackers going to do? Are they going to be playing the same strategy, or are they going to change it completely? We saw that very peculiar strategy that HUNTR used to go B and then take side. It worked a few times. Would they be performing the same thing, or are they being told to do the same old and go cautiously but surely, siphon utils and then push into side, take A and then win the round? Storm at the moment very much in the front of the game. Cheesecake holding nest, seeing if she's able to get any sort of peek at pipes. Smokes are down. Sightlines are very much clear. Seeing if anyone inside. Phoenix inching very closely towards side. Giving the okay for Phoenix to move up. Still, only 2 in A screens. Phoenix blind coming out. Gets both. And just like that, with the Vandal takes care of Cheesecake. The ult into side. gives the space necessary for the attackers. Shelly's right there, but she couldn't really get the kill. With 2 left for the defenders, the attackers have made a statement. The timeout coming into play. Storm just running through the defenders at the moment, taking every sort of angle. Screen is open, not Moon. We've seen her play very well when coming to attack, when it comes to attack. But what is she going to be doing in a situation like this? 1v5, an ace, a potential ace, would be a crazy twist to win this round, but it is not meant to be. There's little you can do with the ghost, and unfortunately for Huntrix, Storm are saying a very well farewell and moving very far into leading this round 10-7. The defenders have taken a timeout and they are going to have to reassess the way they're letting the site be taken so easily, and not the inability to retake it as well is not at its par. Ideally, what they would have to do is hold the site as long as possible, keep them behind without the need of utilities. That is what the defenders or Huntrix would opt to look at. Unfortunately for them, the attackers are siphoning all of the utils off of the defenders, forcing them to use the utils, and then just pushing in so audaciously, planting it, and then going all the way in order to creep right through the areas of the defense and just squish them, quite literally, which is now causing this commanding lead 10-7 in a time like this. With 17 rounds in, having a significant gap lead like this could potentially name the round to Storm. What Huntrix is about to do has to be done right now, has to be executed right now if they are to change the course of this game. Certainly, they had a very dominant start to this game, so we can never rule out the possibility of a turnaround. 10-7. Look at that throw all the way to Boiler to take care of the bot in the turret in mid. I think that's a lot of time gone into making that lineup out there. I could never. Now drone into sight to get info. The sound giving them what they need. Are they going to push up? They're holding, being very cautious, looking for that possible second to push up. Kai holding mid, saying not letting anyone come through, not letting the rotate through mid. Phoenix trying the white peak. Cheesecake very easily takes care of Phoenix out there. Holding the sidelines together for Cheesecake, but Hello Kitty had other plans. Now doesn't really check corners, unfortunately. While checking corners, gets taken care of by Cheesecake. Cheesecake pushing up pipes. No, going back going below rafters. Turns the back around to the attackers. Suki takes with 3v3 the attackers and defenders. Oh my word, it's 1v2 at the moment. Mika, yet again, trying to do something. Gets it done again. It's Suki. Suki gets her kill, survives the round. It's Mika versus Suki, the attacker versus defender. Mika has done this before. She's shown how well she can defend. She's shown how well she can clutch situations like this with 6 seconds remaining. Suki has to make a statement now for the sake of crash out. Taking the approach from below rafters. Sorry, I apologize. Huntrix. Suki not aware of the location. Suki not aware of where me. Taking the peek. Miku takes the kill. And just like that, the attacker Storm cruise right into the lead. A very, very tactical play there, not to stay away from the spike, to stay right next to it and above it. This is by far one of the best performances I have seen Mika play in the last 2 games that I have witnessed. Mika really doing a number to Huntrix and the way they attack. Unfortunately for Huntrix, Mika is being a menace. Now 11-7. Giving them a warning I dare say. They're giving them a warning that they're coming A side. Defenders trying to come through mid. The turret makes them very aware of the mid push. Again, door into side. Lets them know, but not Moon now pushing back from pipes. Try to get some sort of chip in damage, but nothing. Phoenix gets taken. Going back now, gave them, pulled everyone into A side, and now look at them run to B side. This is mind games. I'm not sure what they're planning. They're hesitant themselves. They're trying to take control of mid. Took the turret down in boiler. The defenders have now all progressed all the way from A to B. They're trying to take mid control and also keep B safe. The attackers, on the other hand, are holding down fort in attacker spawn, trying to take mid. And Orange Killjoy had sight of something there, but really could not execute it. Notmoon just waiting for the AA push. Very aware of what this team is about to do, predicting their movements, holding up pipes, waiting for Phoenix to push up. Sova coming in through belt. The attackers pushing in very audaciously now. Look at this. Strawberries pushing that molly. So many utility damage, and the attackers fight back. The defenders are at an extreme disadvantage with a 2v5 yet again. No matter how much you know what the attackers are going to do, crash out. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Huntrix seems to be in a lot of trouble when it comes to defending the site at the moment. With 12-7, Storm is very much pushing forward this entire game and moving very strongly towards winning this round out of the 3 bracket. Huntrix, are they able to make a comeback? Are they able to reassess the way they are defending at the moment? It's atrocious to look at the positioning of the defenders because they seem to be all over the place. They're erratic. The attackers calculated, moving as a team, moving as a unit, taking one other's back. Ever since their timeout back in defending, they have been able to make a statement, make a comeback, and really push themselves forward. Now look at Cypher putting up traps, holding the fort back, not letting any sort of flank coming, holding mid as well in case anybody tries to take mid control. Now pushing down tube. Fade. Shen tries to push down tube. Look at Phoenix. Have a look at Phoenix. Holding side, waiting the smoke goes off, taking their time. It's not a race to plant the spike at the moment. With 1.5 minutes remaining, they are taking their time, getting info as much as possible. The lockdown very quickly put down, so they are now forced to go to B side where Notmoon holding it down the fort. Shen waiting to hear, pushing back up tube now, probably going to kitchen. Trying to see if there's anyone coming through mid. With a very decisive push, they're going up A now. They're going up B. Taking side. Plant is almost spiked. Taking mid control. Hello Kitty just pushing on widely. Takes care of Notmoon with now 4 ages remaining. It's a 4v5. Huntrix seems to be in a bit of a trouble, but no. Cheesecake coming through hall, taking care of Phoenix. Now Strawberry coming in with the ult to take Hello Kitty down in yellow, but still 4 remain. Plant has been spiked. Storm, Cheesecake pushing up very carefully.
That's done.
The attackers are turning the tides, but walks right into the ult. All that, and the defenders, Huntrix does the inevitable and takes the round away from the attackers. Is this the comeback that Huntrix has been hoping for? Only time can tell. With 12-8 in the mix, little to no, well, 20 seconds down to the T, 12 rounds, 20 rounds in, and it still doesn't seem like it's about to finish. Huntrix, if they catch on to this moment, if they catch on to the way they have been playing, they played last round, a very ideal comeback is very possible. Phoenix, on the other hand, and the A team would want to recreate, Storms would want to recreate the way they've been playing the last 12 rounds and push up very, very cautiously, just like what they're doing right now. Cypher holding mid, holding flank, not letting anyone to take any sort of pushback. Strawberry trying to take care of the drone, not letting them take the info like they've been all this time. KJ, a shot through the smoke to take care of Strawberries. giving the attackers. Storm pushing in. And now running away. Takes one kill. Goes away. Going out into spawn. Having a look at mid. Nobody to take any advantage of. Mika seeing as much as he can how many people are there, what they can do, what is their chances, where are they going to go. Very much seems like they're going to be at this point. Pushing up garage, pushing to green. Do they know that Not Moon is all the way snowman, just waiting for someone to peek, someone to come plant to get the headshot and then delay the smoke coming in
30 seconds left.
to stop that very much from happening. Trying to spray through smoke but really does nothing. The blind Reyna. Hello Kitty running all the way back to green. Phoenix holding yellow. Shen pushing in through mid. Is she going to get a look? Is Cypher going to be able to take care of Shen? And Cheesecake. Cheesecake could not be stopped with a lockdown in progress. With a 2v3 defender, Huntrix is being taken down one by one. Hello Kitty coming in, being very, very calculated with the shots. Holding the fort as much as possible. Knows that there's a lurk in progress. What a shot by Not Moon. With the ult in progress. What is she going to do? The defensive kickstart. Not Moon's take a game. Cheesecake pushing up Huntrix to D. And that's just it. Storm takes the win with a very chaotic final round. 21 rounds in, and Storm push up and take that one step closer to the final. What a match. What a match. Storm being very concisive with the way they've been playing, very coordinated, taking every sort of aspect that they could possibly take. Of course, they were being very dominated by Huntrix at the beginning. Unfortunately for Huntrix, they could not keep the domination going far into the game because Storm adapted and Huntrix couldn't, leading to this result, 13-8. Not a very far game, but unfortunately, to the demise of Huntrix, you have Storm taking the round 1 of 3. We will be back for round 2 with a very exciting map, Bind. Of course, we all are aware of how tricky Bind can be as well. Until then, don't lose hope, Huntrix, and keep the game going, Storm. I'll see you guys in a bit. Back everyone to the WVC semi-final between Storms and Huntrix. Map 1 on Icebox was a showcase of Storm's attacking firepower. They came out swinging, cracked sides wide open, and kept Huntrix guessing with relentless pressure. Now the final score to that map was 13-8 to Storms, puts them just one map away from the grand finals against Crash Out. Now we head to Bind, and once again, Storms will be starting on defense. Now, if there's a map that rewards smart side anchoring and quick rotations, it's this one. With no traditional mid lane, attackers are funneled through narrow choke points, and the teleporters aren't just, for rotations. They are for fakes, mind games, and catching opponents completely off guard. So statistically, if we were to take statistics into play even after last game, Bind leans slightly towards the defenders yet again. Having a very similar percentage to that of Icebox as well in competitive plays. That basically should give Storms an edge on paper, but as we saw earlier, and we know how Huntrix know this is a do or die, they need to get creative with teleporter plays, throw in perfectly timed utility, and hit sides together if they want to force a decider. So what is this recipe of success on Bind? One smoker, two initiators, one duelist, one sentinels is what the attackers and defenders would typically want to go for. Huntrix will be attacking first and then need to put on a show so good it turns this match into K-pop demon clutches. If they can slay the demons of Storm's defenses, we might just be heading to a third map. I apologize for that pun, but I just had to. Storms are one win away from the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. Huntrix are fighting for survival. The stakes could not be higher. Strap in, folks. The teleporters are live. The choke points are tight. And Storms versus Huntrix on Bind is about to begin. Have a look at the agents being selected by Storms here. Chamber, Gecko, Reyna, Clove, and Fade. On the other end, you have a very, very balanced comp with Clove, Phoenix, Fade, and two Sentinels coming into play. Cypher and KJ. They really want to hold back the side, hold down the side, really focusing on the defending aspect here. Huntrix will have a lot to go through if they were to, now that they're attacking. Similar to Icebox, Bind is a very defender-sided map, but we saw it in the last game. Attackers were unstoppable and were able to get the round. It came down to the attacking power of Storm that got the winning edge. Now the round begins. They're pushing up a Hello Kitty trying to put a smoke down in a carpet. Pushing into side very fast. Gecko already upside, planting in default. Look at what's happening. Got shipped as still persisting in the plant. Hello Kitty taking every sort of angle to push through smoke. Shoot as much as you can. Trying to get anybody vulnerable, but little to no avail. They are holding back in hay. Plant has been spiked, and the attackers have now taken control of side. Phoenix pushing up, gets traded out, gets taken out by Reyna. Diffusing already very quickly. Little do they know, up in lamps and main. The spike is heavily guarded, smoking the spike. Diffuse is being put again. Mika persisting the diffuse, not really holding, and just like that, the diffuse is happening. 3v1. The cheeky diffuse through smoke takes and assures the win for the defenders. Have a look at that. Nobody persisted. Everybody, they gave in way too much space for the defenders to retake. Basically did the job for the defenders in order for the attackers to lose that round. Unfortunate for the attackers. A very good, persistent first round push, only to be disarrayed and taken out by one of the most cheekiest first round diffuse I've seen in a while. Now, the score as it stands, 1-0 to Storm, and Storm have made their statement. Huntrix has to make a statement back and prove that they're still in the game. Now, everybody collecting in A stairs, holding and waiting for the moment to strike. Shen holding the dog, trying to sending it out, seeing if there's anyone who has crossed over to carpet, but no. Now in Peacock, Mika is trying to take a peek with the Spectre in hand. There's a lot that you can do in the Spectre with the Spectre in round 2. pushing through A main, taking as much time as they possibly want. That's ideally what they should be doing in bind, because the defenders are all over you here. So take your time, see what you can do. Chamber, Cheesecake trying to see at Peacock if anybody's going to take a white swing. Gone, head to the end. Strawberry's on the other end. He's now running back to B side, seeing everything possible. The dog sent into hookah to take any sort of info. B side is very heavily guarded. Doesn't really see Phoenix. Phoenix does not get the kill though. Escapes with 59 HP. Strawberries has a lot to think. Gathering up long, going to garden, seeing if there's a way to get into side through there. The Cypher has that side locked on strongly. So now are they opting to go through showers? Reyna taking the orbit shower, seeing if it's possible with only 10 seconds remaining. What is HUNTR going to do? Storm holding the spot down very well at the moment. Clove trying to push him through the cage. Can't do much. Shen taking out from hookah.
Player standing.
Falls. And just like that, defenders doing a fantastic job at defending even while they're being taken out. This is amazing defending coming in from Storm. The Cypher and KJ holding the fort down, keeping things quiet, not keeping things strong and quiet, anchoring themselves, hiding all the way backside and letting the other members of the team do their job, take them out and basically cement the second round for Storms at the moment. HUNTR have to reassess the way they're pushing. They can't be hesitant. They have to push forward. They have to be dominant. They have to go as one unit, which is not happening at the moment for HUNTR. They are being picked, singled out and taken out because of the hesitance that they are having and carrying at the moment. Cheesecakes seeing if anyone is going to pick in Peacock. Not really getting any chance. They're both inching towards the wall. Both of them holding you to seeing what they can possibly do. Taking their time. Rest of the attackers seem to be going through showers. Pushing up slowly but surely. KJ in triple, waiting for someone to pick through showers. Notices the push. Waiting for the smoke. Holding it. Plant is being spiked in default. Pushing up Peacock. Chamber gets fade now. Where do we go from here? It's a 3v4. Booster themselves up on booster now, looking towards U-Haul. Plant the positioning. They have to keep themselves in place. Don't really give themselves away. Get the defenders out by surprise. Can they do that? Can they manage to keep that flow in check? Phoenix unaware of Reyna, but still taking care of Chivs.
No charges.
2v2.
Player standing.
Pushing up. Defenders are doing a fantastic job at retaking. Look at that. Went in slowly but surely. Confused the enemy. Took the time. And with 1 second, 1.5 seconds remaining, manages to defuse the spike. Getting another round to their name. As an attacker, positioning is all that comes to key once the spike has been planted. They had it down to the T, but the defenders, Storm, had a very coordinated way of pushing up the side, giving the attackers a hell in order to just defend that side for that few seconds. They were 1.5 seconds short and a few inches away from winning the round, but defenders pried away and get it for themselves. We are 3 up. Storm making a very, very, very strong sound here at the moment, giving a strong statement saying that they are in it to win it. They are 1 map away from going to the finals.
There.
Takes care of the bot up in triple. Looking, Killjoy trying to take anybody out from gate, seeing if anybody's going to come through main. Already pushed up very comfortably. Up A mid, looking at double at the moment. Again, the hesitancy from the attackers. Now they're taking their time, crossing B mid, pushing all the way through long, trying to see if they can enter long garden. Gecko taking the spike, moving up long. Phoenix though, waiting for that one moment.
Going up.
The wall comes up, the peak. Oh, unfortunate for the Phoenix. Gets chip damage, gets the Gecko chip damage out, and now she ults into garden and does a very inexplicable kill to Gecko. Whiffs, unfortunately whiffs on the club with few minutes remaining, with few seconds remaining. Clove escapes all the way to teleporter, going through showers. Now she has KJ to take care of. KJ hiding up all the way up in heaven with Tara 21 HP. Just nearly misses the. Just
seconds left.
gone,
Spike
absolutely
down.
decimated.
One
Spike
enemy
in triple,
remaining.
Mika holding Pico. This is immaculate defensive play coming in from Storm. Right now, HUNTR all over the place. Just cannot seem to break through this defense. This barricade, a Goliath of a wall that Storm is putting up. And 4-0 coming in. Again, we saw 4-0 doesn't really make any difference. HUNTR did it last game. Storm coming in strongly in the last game really does not make any decision in the way this game is going to go, but certainly does give a momentum towards the defenders. Storm is making a very resounding statement here. They are not here to lose the game. They are here to win and push forward and go to the finals against Crash Out. The attackers, on the other hand, have a lot to talk about. I think we are in a technical timeout at the moment, but the attackers have to wonder and ponder on the way they are attacking. They are getting staggered and they are getting stopped by the Sentinel force from the Storm department. Unfortunately for them, that is something they can't afford to do. They have to push forward regardless of the way the defense has been played by Storm. 1 or 2 kills being taken out, as long as they can trade each other, would prove to be very, very helpful. Now this is why Bind is a very defensively sided map. Two sentinels could mean very deadly. On the other hand, there isn't a single sentinel for HUNTR, which is a very the only sentinel is Chamber, but still not a very strong sentinel in my opinion, which is a very questionable play in comparison to the defender sided Storm. Ideally, the way HUNTR has put together the composition of their team right now is looking to be a very attackingly striked composition. This is a team that is made to attack, and they are not doing their job. Unfortunately, not being able to be allowed to attack by the Sentinels, holding their side, anchoring it down, and doing a very, very good job at defending. The defender sided Storm versus the attacker sided HUNTR. Who's going to win? What's going to happen? Little is known, little can be said. And we're now 4 rounds in with Storm heavily ahead, holding this fortress down and making a very, very, very loud voice for Crash Out to look out for a team such as Storm is coming their way. It's up to now it's up to now HUNTR to make a comeback and take away this showcase of a performance that Storm is putting and really name what is being done at the moment. Let's have a look at the stats for now. Going into the 5th round into the map, ideally you would expect, I think the stats is not being able to be pulled out at the moment. We're having a small technical difficulty. Alright, if we're not able to talk about let's talk about Bind. First off, there is no traditional mid here. That's what we were aware of. That alone changes how teams approach every single round on most maps. Mid is basically the highway that attackers and defenders fight for control over. But on Bind, you're very funneled through 2 main lanes, a short and a bath on one side. Long, B long with B garden on the other side, A short and A bath, and then B long and B garden on the other. That creates a very natural tug of war over the side control right from the start. Then the real star of the show in this map are the teleporters, which these aren't just any gimmick. That's the thing. They're one of the most tactical tools in the game. It's part of the utilities that either the attacker or the defender can use for themselves. The attackers can use them for lightning fast rotations, and we haven't seen that yet. But defenders, I think we saw a partial attempt at it, but the defenders can use them for quick flanks, surprise flanks, and then both sides also can fake them to cause chaos. Now, of course, you hear the tongue sound when when the teleporter opens. It's basically a call to action. Either you're about to fight, or you're about to be faked. It's one of the two. So Bind also has a nice balance between the long sight lines and tight corners, which makes it a favorite map for many competitive players because it really is not as hard. It's not as tricky as Icebox is, or it's not as agile as Heaven is, but it's right in the middle. You've got those sniper friendly angles down B long and A short, but then you also have to hit sharp turns, and suddenly you're clearing close corners with flashes and mollies. Well, it's a map that demands utility, discipline, and just you gotta blow your smokes. You blow if you blow your smokes or flashes too early, and retaking and defending becomes 10 times harder. And something I love about Bind is how it rewards your creativity. You see coordinated double pushes through showers, and then you have aggressive early peaks down B long. Some truly wild teleporter plays that flip the route on its head. This is the kind of map that you can write your own story if that makes any sense. And in a semifinal with so much on the line, one can only wait to see what Storms and HUNTR comes up with. So unfortunately, I don't think the technical timeout has been resolved at the moment. We are having an issue with the party going into this. Trying to pull out the stats as much as we can. I don't think that should be an issue. Now there you go. The stats has been brought. Now look, have a look at this. The Sentinel being at the right on the top, that goes to show you how Cypher is an integral agent in a map like Bayern. Holding that fort down, keeping things at bay at B side, not really giving the opportunity for the attackers to push up front. We've seen it before. Cypher can be very, very hard to fight against and have many issues when it comes to the attacker's perspective. It's a menace to the attackers. That's why you see Cypher shining very highly here, holding and doing a beautiful job at that too. Phoenix taking that one step forward, helping Cypher, playing in tandem with each other. You can see the coordination between the two in B side. We saw it last round also, the audacious alt push all the way into Garden to take care of Clove. It really gives you that momentum that the defenders need to keep the attackers back, to keep the attackers hesitating. And then all the way alternating between A and B, you have Clove who's pushing from B and then going all the way to A, depending on where the attackers are going to go. If you were to dissect the way she's playing a very good job at alternating between both sides, keeping the smokes coming, keeping the team guessing, and keeping her team in check and safe. The smoke in the first round to defuse alone should tell you how quick and sharp her skills in order to be able to think of that and go forward and do it. Hello Kitty did a great job in Icebox as well, having many ways in clutching and holding that side down. In here as well, she's doing a fantastic job in helping her side, helping her team and the side that the attackers are pushing, and covering the sidelines and hiding the ally locations. Of course, let's not forget Mika. We've seen how dangerous she can be as an initiator in Sova, as a Sova in Icebox. And here too, with just 1 death and 3 kills, she hasn't really done a big impact, but she is providing for the team, which is all that you need at this point in time. Killjoy with 2 kills, again anchoring the site, staying back and keeping the site safe for the rest of the others to be able to do their magic. And on the contrast of the attackers both seem to be the same, 2 and 1, which goes to show that not really anyone is standing out or taking charge and pushing in. they're getting staggered, they're getting disrupted, they're getting hesitant, and this is causing the downfall, unfortunately, for Huntrix. We are not seeing the cautious but aggressive Huntrix we saw when they were attacking. We are seeing a very, very held back, cautious, nervous, and hesitant Huntrix, which is causing that the scoreline you see right now. Of course, this is a moment for both teams to reassess the way they are playing. Huntrix clearly should not be following the same format they did in Icebox. They shouldn't take their time. They should be quick to decide on what they're doing. That is what ideally they should be doing. But unfortunately for Huntrix, little to no avail, and is the reason for a 4-0 timeline. While we wait for the players to get ready, let's zoom out and talk about the WVC as a whole, because this tournament has been delivering some serious moments already. We've seen different playstyles really shine here. Storms, for example, thrive on that disciplined, methodical approach. They're happy to slow the game down, trade the clock, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. Huntrix, on the other hand, are a team that loves tempo shifts. We saw they'll hit you with lightning fast side executes one round, then turtle up and play defaults the next, keeping you guessing every step of the way. Another thing worth talking about is momentum in best of threes. It's not just about aim or strategy, it's about mental resilience. You lose a map, you've got to reset instantly. You win a map, you can't get too comfortable, because the other team is just going to adjust. That's why semifinals in general are so exciting. Every round has extra weight, every clutch matters more, and the pressure is always building. And of course, let's not forget the grand finals picture as well. Crashout are already waiting after their thriller yesterday. They've had a full day to study, rest, and prepare for whoever makes it through. That means whoever wins here is walking straight into battle with a team that's already and well prepared. So, whether you're a fan of the tactical slow burn or the explosive one and done side hits, the WVC has given us both styles, and I have a feeling we're going to see them clash head on as soon as this match gets going again. Of course, we do not want to have Huntrix lose their mentality and move forward. One thing I would like everyone watching the stream at the moment, while this tech pause is still continuing, one of the biggest, I think we are okay right now. We'll keep that conversation for another technical timeout then. I was about to talk to you about adaptations, but I guess not. Let's have a summarize of what just happened in the last 4 rounds. Storm is having a Goliath's ball when it comes to defending. Unfortunately for Huntrix, they cannot seem to slay the demons that they sought out to slay at the beginning. Alright, we start the 5th round, 4-0 going to Huntrix. Sorry, 4-0 going to Storm. Huntrix now pushing up long, very fast, very different to the way they've been playing. No hesitation, he's just taking all in. Suki already takes out Phoenix. Look at the push, the change in the timeout. But Hello Kitty, like I told you, has been a pillar for the defenders and Storms in general. The quick teleport all the way going through showers, pushing up, trying to take care of showers. Now they're trying to push up into triple, and they come across Fade. They don't check their corners. Mika is able to take care of Nutmoon with 1 left remaining. The defenders have taken advantage of the attacker's carelessness and just takes and steals yet another round. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We certainly saw Crashout be very different in the way they are playing at the moment. They pushed in very quickly and made a difference there for a second. We see the way things are panning out to be. The timeout certainly coming into reassure ideally that the attacker should be doing what they're doing, because they did make an impact to some degree in comparison to what happened for the last 4 rounds. A difference in the tempo, in the way they're playing, and as usual, HUNTR has been prone to doing that. 5 rounds in, HUNTR having a small discussion here as to how they're going to attack. Of course, you can't just push in. You have to be a little bit careful and calculated when you're pushing in, especially a Cypher related site. They did take out the Phoenix, but Hello Kitty was there to save Cypher and protect B side, only for them to not check corners and gate and have fade all the way in gate, take out Not Moon, and change the tide of the round back to the defenders. 5 rounds in, attackers, HUNTR are in a lot of trouble. They have to make a win, a comeback, or some sort of statement. What is their game plan and what is their mentality actually at this time? They seem to be focused on going in. With the way the team has been bundled together, they might split through showers and main, trying to see if there's an ability to go through. Majority of the team pushing up faucets, going to showers. KJ holding triple, making no sound, being very, again, cautious, which has not helped them by far, but certainly they might have another plan going for them. KJ started up on triple. Yes, makes them aware. The tower's taken out, but do they know that just like that, KJ takes care of the 2 in showers with 3v5 now. Clove pushes in. KJ doesn't realize, gets taken out. Not more pulling. Going to double, doesn't check Peacock. Suki gets lucky. Hello Kitty takes 1. It's a 3v3 suddenly. Hello Kitty with 2. This is what I mean. The way she's adapting to the way things are being played at the moment. Chamber trying to plant. Suki pushing up lamps. Waiting. No, with just seconds remaining, she couldn't get the kill. It's a 1v3. Cheesecake has given her position away. The molly right onto Cheesecake, giving her the opportunity, giving Storms the opportunity to defuse. With little to no wealth, the spray through smoke cannot do much. Pushing back, gets the kill, and Cheesecake has been slayed alongside her team's HUNTR. 6-0. HUNTR is now slowly losing the grip in this very well-sided, defense-sided Storm, and things don't seem to be getting better in any sort of way. The slow push does not seem to work, but they continue to do it. They seem to have a strategy inbound, but the hesitation causes the team to fall. Trying to push up, going through long. We saw this work earlier. Phoenix already pushed up to Garden now, this time trying to take the Chamber by surprise. Chamber pushing up wide. Phoenix pushing wide, but whiffs, and the Chamber makes light work, giving defenders a disadvantage now. Trips taken care of. Side is slowly being overwhelmed by the attackers. Cypher able to hold her own. Not Moon takes care of Cypher. Both Fids ults in one. Spike has been planted. They're all bundled up in crate. Mika trying to take the white peak. Clove has no. Clove is on the other side. Holding. Backside. Holding. It's a 3v2. It's a 3v2. Hello Kitty already taken up space in wall. The lockdown to help. Hello Kitty being taken care of from elbow. Killjoy trying to put a turret in.
One enemy
Taking the
remaining.
defuse as soon as possible. It's a 1v2. Hello Kitty taken again. It's a 1v1. It's a peak. And finally the attackers have taken back their mentality. With that first win round, it's a 6-1. Again, Valorant is a game where you cannot decide until it's decided. And just like that, attackers pull off a fantastic push with ults all over the place, only for the defenders to be taken out one by one. Hello Kitty, valiant effort in pushing forward, trying to take out the KJ, but the Reyna, not Moon again coming in clutch for HUNTR, giving them their first round win. This surely has to give them the mentality to move forward. Won't let them feel dumbed down. They can't afford to at this point. 7 rounds in, the ult from Chamber. Mika knows, not trying to take peek, not trying to peek. Peacock is being empty and vacant at the moment. Killjoy holding up space in gate. Box into triple. The bot up triple should perform and give you some sort of info. KJ. Clove all the way in U-Haul trying to see if she's able to take care of any sort of pick. Now holding the wide peak, wide angle. Trying to see if Chamber is... No, not giving the opportunity for Chamber to use the ult whatsoever. Wasting time trying to get info, trying to do a magic, but the hesitation again coming in from Huntrix, slowing them down with just 50 seconds left. Are they able to plant spike? Are they able to push in? Or are they going to rotate to B side? Killjoy sprays through smoke, takes care of Not Moon, which again puts the Huntrix at a major disadvantage. Peeks hookah very carelessly and gets punished for it. Phoenix trying to take care of the hookah but not risking it any more than just 10 HP.
30 seconds.
The gets very lucky with gets noted but gets very lucky as well. So this is now come down to the last 20 seconds. Oh, what a shot by the Chamber all the way from Garden. Waited patiently with 30 seconds remaining. The Cypher trips coming into play and delivers. Hello Kitty here. Suki waiting in Garden with 3 seconds remaining. The attackers are desperate for anything. And they just cannot seem to catch a break. Each Sentinel doing their job. Suki whiffs. KJ scores. And 6-1 becomes 7. And now the ever so commanding lead is just getting wider and wider. For a moment there after their first spin, you'd assume that Huntrix would take the reins and bring the match back. But at this point, it seems Storm is just cruising in the way they're defending. They're just playing it cool, patiently, and just waiting for the ever so hesitant Huntrix to push forward and crumble apart. Huntrix taking it slow yet again, trying to take a space, trying to see if the waiting game does eventually provide some sort of
Careful here.
reward. Holding an Ares. Jumping up over double. In comes the pull. Now Fade. Suki trying to take gate over now. Very predictable outcome from KJ. Suki waiting for KJ to push it. This time not going in KJ's way. The gate push. Mika holding Peacock turns around for a second, trying to take Suki down.
Trap destroyed.
It's a 4v3 at the moment. Defenders are highly in a disadvantage. All of them clumped up backside, trying to see if they can go from around truck and move towards the default positioning. Shen sprays as much as she can, but little can be done. Even with ult, Reyna cannot provide much for the attackers, and the downfall of Huntrix keeps coming to the demise of them. They cannot provide anything. Even when it seems like Huntrix might have a shot at it, it seems to fall apart. That's how strong of a defense Storm is having with them right now. Huntrix must remain calm, must keep their mental in check, and not let this thing pursue their mental, because if that is gone, so is the game. A little bit of a different approach this time, pushing up long. They have been more successful pushing up long these last few rounds. Now Phoenix, after the last Garden encounter, has taken a much more safer spot in elbow, waiting for a hookah push ideally. The cam possibly giving info now with the smoke coming into sight. They're going into the wall, smoke, everything coming up, not giving the chance for Huntrix to push in. The hesitancy, waiting, the hookah push. No, the Phoenix trying to peek. The ult coming to no avail. The attackers have successfully infiltrated the side. Not Moon with 11 HP tries to take a peek, but he's taken out. It's a 3v3 situation at the moment. Not Moon with very little HP. It's a 3v2. Look at the way the defenders are playing, but no, the defenders push up. Cypher's ult provides utility usage with 9 HP. Can Not Moon provide, as she have provided for Huntrix in many occasions before. Trying to do the defuse is being happening. Is being done again. The smoke helping. Not Moon, not being able to do much. Gets the kill, but again, really doesn't amount to much. The hesitancy is what is causing the downfall of Huntrix. Again, not Moon staying back, not pushing up front, even when the spike is being diffused, causing the downfall of that round, causing the loss for that round. This is very disappointing to see. Storm, of course, cruising into the 10th round with a demanding 8-round lead, causing them to very well rejoice and keep them. All they have to do is just reassess, keep calm, and play the way they're playing if they want to move, advance to the final, and play Crash Out next.
Careful.
Slowly pushing up showers. Gecko with the spike, holding carpet, but gets chipped very heavily in the last few from the triple box. Now they're pushing it aside. Did not blind, gave Peacock the opportunity to chip. Sorry, gave Killjoy in Peacock the opportunity to chip Chamber. The hesitancy of Util said is at 4v4. Hello Kitty spamming all the way from heaven. 3v3. It's still equal. It's still balanced. No, it's no longer 3v2. It's a 2v2. Look at this. Suki versus Hello Kitty. Shen versus Kai. Huntrix are hungry for a win. Huntrix are hungry for a round win. And the ult comes in from Fade. And just like that, waiting for the peak. But the molly coming in from Phoenix all the way to double. Shouldn't make a problem. Lydon, Shen taken out. Phoenix pushing up with Hello Kitty. It's a 2v1. And no! The whiff! The 1 second whiff is enough for them to keep pushing up. With 3 seconds to remain. They will be very disappointed with themselves. That was a round to win for Huntrix, only to be given away. Storm, very happy with their performance. Will push. Will try to defend side one last time, and then will look to finish it off by attacking as much as they can. And as we've already seen, the composition of Huntrix team at the moment seems to be a very attacking side. But unfortunately they haven't provided. So how are they going to defend is what we will see in the next round. One last push, one last attack from Huntrix. Pushing up long. Phoenix anticipating, holding them back just for a few seconds. Cypher taking his place back in halls. Strawberries holding the ult. Huntrix now with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. What is their play? 3 people in B side. Go out of the vulnerable, takes info. Nobody on side. They're giving the spike to be planted, waiting for the retake. They've done that many times and it has worked for them. So how is it going to work now? Phoenix takes one. The attackers are in a very big advantage. White Big Phoenix takes the moon down, takes 3 down. Now it's a 3v2. The attackers have been taken out of the store. Look behind elbow. Trying to push up. What just happened there? Removed, destroyed, and taken out. That's the no win. Hold on. It's diffusing. KJ doesn't peek. And just like that, defenders get taken out. Sorry, attackers get taken out. What just happened? The hesitation yet again causing Huntrix to lose that 12th round in a very upsetting and disappointing round that was given away to Storm. Huntrix punished for that one moment of hesitation. And now we move into the second half of this game with a very, very one-sided Storm running and taking 11-1 in this very so beautiful bind map. An A+ effort indeed. The team will rejoice. All they have to do is be very decisive and move forward in the way they attack. The defenders have a tidal wave coming for them. Huntrix What is their plan when it comes to defending? Sentinel holding his side, trying to see if anyone's coming to double. Of course, he gets taken out by the dog. Look at the push, no hesitation, coming in. What? I stand corrected, the hesitation still exists. They're holding back, they're waiting for the smoke to go off. Good mindset from HUNTR to remain anchored down, not allowing themselves get tricked by any sort of play. Holding 2 all the way in B side, 3 in A. Just waiting. Didn't switch out sides. I think they're waiting for that moment for one peek. The location has been given away, so Killjoy and Clove are trying to take a sneaky approach up showers. Takes the orb and is playing a waiting game. A very similar approach to how HUNTR had been doing all along, but how are they going to execute this in comparison to the way HUNTR executed? All the way to teleport the fast teleportation play. This has been seen in HUNTR. Look at this. HUNTR bewildered. One person only in B side. Not Moon. What can she do? She tries to take the B approach. Takes one. Runs away. Let her team hold. Tries planting in crate. This is why you clear corners, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a beautiful strategy by Storm, only to be wasted by the inability to clear corners. And just like that, the defenders very easily take this round. Now, let's talk about that for a moment. There, they were very well juked, but Not Moon holding her composure takes Cypher, takes Phoenix out, takes whole Cypher back, and just like that, wins the round for the defenders. Patience is part of the game in attack, in defending. You have to have patience, even when it seems like the entire team is being pushed. A few seconds waiting in your position wouldn't hurt anyone, and that's exactly what Reyna went out to prove to us. Held her angle in elbow, to the dismay of the Phoenix and Cypher, causing a disarray. Nobody could plan. Cypher tried to take cover in crate. The team pushed up through halls and basically overwhelmed the attacking team. Storm was taken, outplayed. Storm outplayed HUNTR, only to be outplayed by not HUNTR but Not Moon herself. This is a game of being witty, smart, and that's exactly what happened. In that sense, Not Moon was the smartest of them all, causing 11-2 to be the score at the moment. With a 9-round lead, Storm very much in the top of going to the finals, but HUNTR eyeing, hungry, desperate to come back and stay in this match. We saw a little bit of a flaw in the defensive. Are they going to move forward? Are they going to fix this? Look at that. Have a look at that. Peacock is being held by Chamber with Judge waiting for the push into A side. Very, very, very good play here. Ideally would be if they go through Peacock, but Gecko on the other hand at triple waiting to get someone in showers. KJ holding Spike next to Vines and just waiting for any sort of info coming in from Hello Kitty or Phoenix. So it's a game of waiting at the moment. They're just holding, seeing if they can all push in at once. Waiting for that right angle, right moment, right push. KJ slowly inches away towards showers. Gecko, antsy as ever, waiting for that peak. KJ is going to cross angles with her very soon. With 40 seconds remaining, comes down, the smoke comes down double. Both teams very...
They found my trap.
With that, the team,
30 seconds
with
left.
that, HUNTR has been notified of Chamber's location and the A team location. Now they're going to push up. Look at that, just one push, all as a unit. Waiting for the Judge, just X1, 67 HP and still lives. The defense seems to be working very, very well here. Strawberry's trying to defend well, but with one V4, little can Mika do. Defenders making a statement. HUNTR are actually doing something here for once, and Storm has been taken blindsidedly. The weight, the long wait, put HUNTR in the advantage of having the ability to delay them and cause Storm to fall off. A good play from Chamber to hold Peacock with the judge and take out Phoenix and give the numbers advantage over to Storm. 11-3, ladies and gentlemen, it is becoming interesting as ever. Storm can't get a grip of how to attack here. They're taking... Hesitation is the name of the game at the moment. Both attacking sides were very hesitant in pushing and causing a lot of problems for themselves. The defenders are just patiently anchoring down and looking for that one moment. Now Cheesecake up in hook out. Just waiting for Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty slowly peeking up. Will it work again? Slowly. Just like that. Hello Kitty and... pushing up! No, it does not work this time! The whiff! And now Chamber is one man! And the defenders are one man down. It's a 4v4, 4v5. Holding for that one moment for the molly to go off. Trying to get any sort of info. Strawberry's holding. Elbow. Not going to allow them to come forward. Suki holding crate. Phoenix putting a molly in elbow. Might provide problems for Gecko. Suki whiffs. Suki gets one though. Hold up in gate, but it's taken care of. It's a 2v3. Attackers have 2v2.
Last player
Shen,
standing.
not sure where to see Shen. Shen running around elbow. Going through halls. Going to meet Phoenix on the other end with just a few HP. Just gets taken out.
There can only be one hero.
There can only be one hero is what Phoenix says, and indeed so 12-3 with this just seems to not get any better for Huntrix. They can't afford to lose anymore if they are having any hope in moving forward into the finals against Crash Out. Storm very much ahead in this fixture. Shen lost herself for a second there, couldn't really get a hold of where to move, and unfortunately for the defenders, for the attackers, they were taken one by one, singled out, and the positioning advantage gave Storm that round. Now look, slowly pushing up. They're trying to play default, trying to take peek, seeing if anyone's going to push up. Of course, that's something to expect knowing the mental that Huntrix might be in at the moment, but Cheesecake, look at the resilience. They're waiting, which is really good, shows good mental fortitude from Huntrix. One down. Shen takes one, gets traded off. It's a 4v3. The defenders are down low. The attackers, no matter the resilience, they're showing them to be a force to be reckoned with.
Joke's over. You're
Suki
dead.
all the way back. Gets the beautiful headshot on the ult. Doesn't give any sort of room for the attackers to make space with. Pushing up. Pushing up U-Haul. Lamps gets taken out. Suki. Kai eats a 2v4. Huntrix. Desperate. Huntrix with the one more push. Huntrix with the look to redeem themselves. Not Moon for Huntrix. Going against Kai. Shen and Hello Kitty. Kai not being merciful in any sort of way. Removes Not Moon from the map and gives Storm a very comfortable win. 13-5. 13-3, I apologize. Just have a look at the scoreboard. The complete domination coming in from Seraphe, Fine Indori, Hello Kitty, and Kai. Mika being the MVP of the last map, not being the highlight in this map, goes to show how much of a force Storm is a reckon to deal with. Crash Out has a storm coming for them at the moment. Unfortunate for Huntrix. Played well, could not get themselves sorted out in this match. Their attacking was better than their defending. Sorry, their defending was better than their attacking. Unfortunately for them, the defense, they just could not break through Storm's defense, giving them a significant lead at the first half. Huntrix had played well. Icebox did a fantastic job defending, could not attack well, and similarly could not attack here, causing them to get their ultimate downfall. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of semi-final 2. And we are moving to the grand finals where where Storm takes Crash Out. A very, very exciting matchup to come your way. And I think every single one of you can agree. As much as this was exciting, the finals is going to be even more exciting. So stay tuned and come back tomorrow to see the grand finals of the WVC 25. I am your host, Vega, and thank you for watching. Have a nice night.